Well, we have nothing to the keep. We're just gonna.
Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, Chip? What's going on, everybody? We got a lot of things to cover, a short time to do it in. But you know what? There's new legislation being proposed that is going to take Gary out. Ripple and Mastercard forming some sort of partnership. The IMF getting crazy on trying to control CBDCs. And there's 55 billion XRP sitting out there for someone to do something with. And apparently, David Schwartz doesn't know what to do with it all.
Well, that's not surprising, Jeff, but that happens at times. I'm ready to kick
That
this puppy off.
and Chip, and most importantly, get ready to tune in for some badass Yetis.
Yetis,
That's what I'm talking about.
There's some badass Yetis coming at you guys. We're getting close. Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Ooh, guys, wherever you're coming in from, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe. You know what? Do me a favor, man. I just hit up Crypto Siege, another great YouTuber in the space, and he was like, "Hey, man, something's weird's going on. Like, I've been at this for a long time, and we keep losing subs, sliding back." And he's also a live streamer, so something's up with the live streaming algorithm. And I wanted him to know that he's not alone. That there are some other people out there dealing with the same thing. But yeah, best way to support the channel, I'll tell you what it's going to be on Tuesday. It's called the Badass Yetis. Yeah, they're coming at you. They're going to be minting on Tuesday after Jeff and I have been talking about this project for some time. We're finally getting it out there. It's a good feeling to get it out there. And also, too, you can also buy a super chat or a super like or whatever the hell it's called on the rewatch. My dog is going crazy again.
Super. Man,
every time I go ahead, he's always crawling under here.
I don't hear anything.
And that's it, man. That is
it's starting to rain. Starting to pour.
There it is. Like, subscribe, click that notification bell. And if you already like and if you already like subscribe, unsubscribe, give it a second, and then subscribe again. There's something weird going on. There's some kind of weird stuff in the air. I don't know what it is.
It's very bizarre. Weird, it happens every so often with the YouTube gods. So that's what happens. But man, there's a lot of amazing things to start off with. But I'll tell you what I wanted to start with.
Your mic's a little low, Jeff. Can you maybe put it up a little bit more?
A little bit low. How's that? Can you hear me okay?
It's all right, but it seems a little bit low.
Can everybody hear me out there?
It's a little low in the mix. It sounds good, but it's just a little.
Is it getting better? Are we getting louder?
Yeah,
it seems really loud in my ears. So
blowing your ears out.
Blowing my own ears out. It's crazy. We're gonna get some. Man, everyone, give a quick shout out where you're tuning in from. We always love to hear where you guys are coming from. It's always great to know why, because we have people that tune in across the globe. People are tuning in. It's like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you guys are tuning in and saying, "What is going on? We got to see what's happening.
What is going on?
What is going on?" So anyhow, so John Deaton put out a tweet and talking about the liquidity hub, that there's all these things going on right now, looking for some diverse reaction from the groups out there. Was going to be some sort of a Twitter Spaces about this liquidity hub, but I saw Chip's post, and that's all I really wanted to focus on was about the liquidity hub, because I look at this, we could spend hours talking about liquidity hub, and Chip was able to summarize it in one tweet. It was perfect. So let me pull this up here, because this was the tweet, and it's perfect. See, he just checked it right off his list. Look at that. Checked off the list.
Scroll up, Jeff. Scroll up to the original, because this is probably going to be a really cool space, John Deaton's putting together. Because of the reaction to the Ripple liquidity hub, will not include XRP. He thinks that a Twitter space is warranted, so both John Deaton and Moon Lambo will host. All opinions are welcome. Love somebody else. We need more knowledge about liquidity hub to join, Jeff, and tell you what, you can go.
I don't know exactly when it is, but it's right
tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's right there.
I didn't see that part. I don't know how I missed this big thing that says set reminder and the time. I was like, hey, there's just a title here. I'm not seeing, but anyhow, tune in to John Deaton. He's hosting this. Ripple's liquidity hub without XRP, good business, or is it a betrayal? And so this is definitely causing some rift in the space. The fact that Ripple came out and they basically said, look, we don't need XRP. You know what? Because they're going to weigh XRP like all the other assets when they're going to start rolling this out in the US. And that means they could use Bitcoin, they can use Ethereum, they could even use Shiba Inu if they wanted to.
If they wanted to.
if they really
Why
wanted
wouldn't
to.
they, Jeff?
Exactly. Who wouldn't want to use the SHIB, especially with the burn rate that it's up to right now? But anyhow, so Chip responded and said, look, I can't make the space, but here's my 2 cents. Right? Here's my opinion. And Chip, maybe you should read it because
it's simple, man.
It's your writing and your voice.
Ripple's clever with their liquidity hub for U.S. clients. No clarity, no problem. No XRP needed, and it's absolutely brilliant for the fact that it's smart to avoid giving the SEC any further grounds for putting a target on their backs. So if they go like, during this court case, can you imagine they come after them and say, well, now you have XRP using your liquidity hub. The funny thing about it was when the uproar happened, Jeff, and everybody was reading through it. When that thing was posted, I read through it. I didn't even think anything of it because I was thinking, why would they have XRP with this whole court battle going on? And why would you want the SEC to take another shot between the eyes? And everyone's like, oh my God, there's no XRP. What do we do? And the sky's falling. Everybody flipped out. And I was like, I didn't even think, like, we talked about it yesterday, didn't we? Or last week, we were like,
I think it was yesterday. Seems like last week.
Felt like last week, but it was yesterday. Yesterday morning, my God, during the weekend, it's a long time ago. But I'm like, so it's not a big deal. And the bottom line is, it's absolutely a phenomenal move. This is like, and people are like, do they know something's coming? Do you think they know? No, man. It's called risk aversion. It's called mitigating risk. And if you mitigate risk as a company, you do what's in your best interest all the time. And if you can't attract US customers because of the whole XRP thing, and they're like, I'm sorry, we can't use it. It has XRP. Then you remove the risk from the equation. And guess what? You got clear sailing. And then so Ripple went in because of all this, like going crazy on, crypto Twitter. They went in and they specified, well, once we get clarity, then we will. So they even answered the question that said, hey, once we get clarity, we're going to do it, Jeff. I don't know.
Man, I think you're onto something. I was thinking about it, and I look, and we've discussed this a lot. The whole XRP thing. But what's the beauty of the XRPL is that you can basically transact any asset, right? You can move any asset across the XRPL, spend the bits. I think is a perfect representation of moving Bitcoin at lightning speed, utilizing the XRPL. I think that RippleNet. And Ripple as a company, they've stated, they've built out RippleNet. It's a solution. It doesn't necessarily have to use XRP. And if they want to throw it out there and be a little bit more agnostic and try to play the game, they can say, look, we're going to look at every asset. We're going to look at Bitcoin. We'll look at Ethereum. We'll look at XRP. We'll look at XLM. We'll look at all the different assets, and we'll weigh the benefit of each asset as it's used within their liquidity hub. If it just happens to come out that XRP is the best, so XRP is the best. But it's a perfect idea because that was their whole premise. Again, the premise of the XRPL being relatively agnostic, meaning that you can move anything across it. But I think you bring up another solid point. There's some issue right now, legislation-wise, in the U.S. not being 100% sane in the approach with cryptocurrency, and they have Chair Gensler at the helm of the insanity. He's kind of driving the crazy bus, and so fact that he's driving this crazy bus, we know that there's no clarity, there's issue, there's a massive lawsuit going on. So I agree with you. No clarity, no problem, no XRP. Hey, you know what? We're going to weigh them all equally. We could use anything. Use any asset. Now get out of the way. We're rolling out our liquidity hub.
A phrase that was expressed to me by a buddy a long time ago, and it comes up all the time. Never volunteer for the firing squad. And it's not the people holding the guns. It's like, hey, there's a firing squad going on. You don't just walk up to the wall and say, take shots at you. You just don't do it. You never volunteer for the firing squad. Do you want to be the person being shot? Hey, do you want to be a victim? No. And that's like, so, I know a lot of people are talking about it. It'll probably be a fantastic space in the sense that, some more diverse opinions will be formed. But honestly, to me, it's just like any company. There's always going to be risk aversion, except for Silicon Valley Bank. That person was not working. There was no person managing risk for that company for 9 months, and well, what do you know? It just went belly up. So I feel like it will be answered. And someone said, "Is like, are they? Who said this in here? It feels like, what did they say? It feels like they're rug pulling us." No, someone who had that comment in here.
Rug pull.
Not a rug pull. This seems like they're messing with. Someone said something like that in here. Let's see who had it. I don't know. Gotta keep your head down. Keep your head down, man.
Dude, Matt Enos.
Pure Michigan.
Pure Michigan.
Probably. Pure Michigan.
He's probably over there in Michigan. I just flew in from Michigan.
How about some Slovakia, bro?
Warm. Man, Slovakia. Gotta love the Slovakia. How about Abu Dhabi?
Slovakia's in the house. Abu Dhabi. God, jeez. Abu Dhabi's a great. If you're in any crypto project, that's another great place to set up shop because really totally down with the with blockchain and crypto projects. So you got to love that too. Well, listen, I wanted to put this up here because I think the timing's right here. Look at this from K-HUD. Badass Yetis.
Badass Yetis.
And you know, the Badass
Yetis.
Write
the ass. They wouldn't accept
the Badass Yetis. And by the way, so we have a brand new sponsor here at On the Chain. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Jeff. Who is it brought to us by?
The Badass Yetis.
The Badass Yetis. Brought to you by the Badass Yetis. And because of that, are you ready, Jeff, to roll this? But here we go. Let's go ahead and roll this.
Roll it, and then we'll go into some of your commentary. But let's
Badass Yetis.
Coming to you from Badass Yetis.
Badass Yetis is going live on Tuesday, less than 2 days away. 48 hours from now, it will be live. Ready for this?
Get out
guys?
The popcorn.
Everyone's been asking about it, but let's check this out. Here are the Badass Yetis. Let's go.
Discover the awe-inspiring universe of the Badass Yetis, comprising 7 diverse clans, each possessing unparalleled abilities and strengths. The mighty Titans are a formidable and courageous clan known for their immense strength and valor. These colossal warriors are celebrated for their fearlessness and determination. The Pathfinders, cute, cuddly, but deadly. Expert hunters and trackers, they navigate mountains with ease. They'll find you if you hide. Trust me, it's best if they don't see you. The Templars are spiritual and wise, deeply understanding the spiritual forces that shape their world. They believe themselves to be the defenders of just and righteousness. The superior craftsmanship of the Frostbeards enables them to produce intricate tools and weapons using the limited resources available in their surroundings. The Shiverspine clan is the most terrifying of the 7 clans, known for their exceptional agility and stealth and ability to move silently and quickly through the snow and ice. With their telekinetic and intellectual prowess, mentalists excel as powerful foes and sought-after allies due to their ability to mentally manipulate the world around them. The Spirit Walkers attune themselves to the earth, animals, and the unseen spirit world. Their exceptional communication skills enable them to connect with the spirits of the land and draw upon their force.
Man.
Jeff, the Badass Yetis. There they are.
The Badass Yetis, man. That was solid. That was a solid video. Give us some
cuddly and
feedback
cute
from everyone out there. Let us know what your thoughts are, what you guys think about that. That was some great music, some great video work.
Colin Benson with Have a Michelada, boys.
Michelada.
I stand with Deaton. All right, nice. Yeah, we all stand with Deaton.
Nice. I like that.
Appreciate that. I haven't heard that in a while, the Michelada there. That's awesome.
It's
been a while since we heard that. Thank you for that, Colin. Appreciate that.
So
we heard right there. Welcome to Earth.
That's great.
That's great.
Welcome back to
Paper
Earth.
Chaser says sweet. Yeah, so we put that together because we needed to have like a little way to sort of roll out like the backstory of all the clans. You know, the clans, 7 clans make up the Blue Tribe, and 589 of them being minted. So it's going to be on XRP.cafe. Super super happy. Go ahead and read that.
Gladly pay you next Tuesday for a Yeti today.
Oh, you're gonna love that.
That's awesome.
Don't worry, K-HUD. You're gonna have a badass Yeti coming your way for all the support. We'll settle up with that. But yeah, the people that have been some OGs around here and stuff, there's gonna be they're gonna get rewarded handsomely for hanging in there. But we'll make sure we work that out.
There's
But
gonna be
again,
a lot of cool things going on. We're gonna have some giveaways coming up here, all sorts of cool things with the Yetis. But
look at that. Wait a minute, Jeff. Look at
sorry,
this.
what was that?
Larry
Oh yeah,
Jaron says, looks like the beginning of a video game. And funny enough, you say that, Larry, because yeah, there is a video game that was written, and it's a cool ass game, Jeff.
I thought so. Yeah, I think it could be amazing. It would be really,
It'd be
really
amazing,
cool.
man.
We wrote out an entire, white paper on the video game based on the Badass Yetis. The question is whether or not it comes to fruition.
Wait. Waza says the
The beard guy.
the beard
rules.
guy's real. Now, Waza, how did I know you were going to go for that, man? How did I know Waza was going to make that connection? It's funny because I sent it to a buddy of mine. He goes, dude, the frost beards are awesome. And I'm like, if because I was like, what would Waza like? What would he be into? Of course, the frost beards. And also, too, we want to know who is the first one that's going to collect all 7. You remember when you mint them, they're sort of random, but they probably will show up on the secondary market because people probably will want to flip them for a little more. And if you get a cool one, you'll probably want to flip it, or a rare one, you'll probably want to flip it as well. So, what's up? Good morning, Waza. Good to see you in here, man.
And Jim is saying need a Yeti roleplay game to vivify the Yeti clan concept. That could be
There you go.
interesting.
Well, whatever makes you. That's what you need, Jim D. Then okay, man. That's what you. That's what you need.
Hey, so I want to go back to what Ashraful Hawk was saying. He said it's 100% given. XRP will be used in the liquidity hub. This goes back to what we were talking about before. Doing it before or after the lawsuit doesn't matter. Not sure why everybody is up in arms about this and getting all crazy.
Right. Rashful, exactly. Hake. You say that Hake? Yeah. Is that Hake?
Hake or Hawk?
Hake. Don't worry. Here On the Chain, you can count on one thing, that Jeff and I will butcher your names, and we'll butcher them together. There will be we'll do our best. But
we won't get it right the first time or the second time.
But some of the thing with the Badass Yetis is sometimes there's some vowels missing because they're based on Viking folklore, Norwegian. So some of the old language, and when you actually get one of these Badass Yetis, it's going to have its own unique name onto that Yeti. No other Yeti is going to have that name. And also, too, what else is interesting is that it tells you the pronunciation and how do you spell that sucker? It's all on there, Jeff.
That's really tough. I know. That's going to be really sweet. So Jim D was saying the non-XRP digital assets running through Liquidity Hub is demonstrating technology diversification, not limited to any single token. Another real solid point. You have to be able. There's all these tokens floating. Everyone's fighting for supremacy. What is the one thing that Microsoft did really well when they started rolling out their operating system? They basically said, you build the hardware, we'll put the operating system on anything. It doesn't matter. And then, Apple, on the other hand, became a hardware software manufacturer, and it almost killed them. They almost went out of business until they found their footing. They went through that rocky period of time. But that was the one thing that really put them on the map, Microsoft. So this also, taking this into consideration, what Ripple is doing, it's a really smart move. There's all these assets floating around out there. Why would they want to be so centric to XRP only? It might be the best, and that could be very well be the outcome. But maybe they want to incorporate many of the others that are coming in. So it's all good.
I'm going to put this up. XRP Rock says, hey, I just received the notification you guys are on. Solid. That's also a very good thing because I'm so glad you get that. I didn't get the announcement today. And then XRP Rocks, thank you so much, man, for that super sticker. Really appreciate you guys. Means a lot to us. And it's great to show that you show your support in so many different ways, man. It's very, very cool. Very cool.
Here you go. Here you go, Chip, from Mark. Have Yeti to see a Yeti because they're not Yeti here, Yeti.
They're not ready.
The Yetis arrive, not Yeti.
Not Yeti, not ready. Not ready, yeah. Jeff, where's that tweet you had that little interaction? That was fun. I think it was on our YouTube channel.
It was on it was on
Yetis.
Twitter. What
was it? Yeah, pull it up. Pull it up. Go look in your feed. Pull that up. That was a fun one too.
Let's see if we can
I just love how you guys are having a lot of fun with this as well, playing along. Rye Guy's in here. Evening all. What's up, Rye Guy? Good to see you as well. Legendary wants to know, are there male and female Yetis or are they asexual? Let's not get into this, okay? All right, let's. Here's the weird thing about that. You know, in creating these, I will say that there's probably a couple in there. Of course, they do have to reproduce, right? And the ones that are showcased are the ones that fight. These are the ones that are out there fighting. Remember that there's a lot more Yetis than the full Yeti clan, but these are the ones that are the warriors, that are the fighters. They don't like to have fight. They will all band together to basically protect the homeland in any way they can. There are some little rifts that come up here and there, but remember, these are the warriors, and the warriors are predominantly male, although I will say that there are a couple of them in there. You have to keep your eye open. Just like anything else, there's a lot of badasses, and they come in different flavors, but yeah, that's the idea. But that's kind of where this is. This is the warriors, and the warriors are predominantly male. So I hope that answers your question.
Bud Light, no.
They don't drink Bud Light. Whiskey, hardcore whiskey.
Hardcore whiskey or mead or something stout.
Red meat with whiskey. That's how they fly.
They don't drink fizzy water like Bud Light.
No. The funny thing was, I was like all down for. Didn't see one zipper. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. It's all right. How you guys are getting caught up in some weird stuff, man.
I don't know. So this came out. Let's see. What was it? Brace yourselves, Yeti fans. The legendary Badass Yeti NFT series is launching on the XRP Cafe in just 2 days. Get ready to join the coolest crew on the blockchain. And then XR Peaky Blinder said, so what you're saying is the Yeti is ready? And I said, Badass Yetis are born ready. See, I see what you did there.
I used my readiness
to
see it. So they're ready to mint on Tuesday.
Now
this is a good one.
This is. I was looking at this. I love this. This is really good. The first of a possible jackass Yodas
collection. It's Kramer.
I love it.
It's a picture of Kramer with Yoda's face. Yeah, that could be the. That's about the size of it.
And then we just use him as the voiceover.
Man, oh man, how about that, huh? Holy cats!
Oh my God!
Good golly, Miss Molly, man, wow. And then,
in Australia, Yetis are called bunny yips.
Okay, that's not cool, dude. I'm not. That cannot be right.
Bunny yip.
Badass bunny yip. What the hell's that? You guys have some bizarre slang down there, man. When we had Waz on, we had to review the slang because he's always dropping slang. So I had to review the slang so I'd have a clue what he was talking about because you guys are so much into that. And I mean, it's pretty cool too. I'm not gonna give you that, but I was like, Waz was like, I had to figure out what he was saying. You know, he drops a lot of, between the F bombs, all that too is, but all that good stuff.
Ashraf was saying, I definitely think there should be one called Liquidity Yeti.
The Liquidity Yeti. Liquidity
Yeti. And Waza says he'll do the voiceover for the Frosty Beard.
Well, can you imagine that? Oh. That would be so sweet. The Frost Beards. Well, I like the Frosty Beards too, though. That's a good one.
Badass Vegemite. Oh, my God.
Yeah, so
see, the Yetis would definitely have to battle the kangaroos.
See, like
in Australia,
I just heard Julius,
and he's not even anywhere near. That's crazy,
dude. That Mike picked him up. Let's talk about this here. Let's go into something else here. One of our favorite topics to talk about here is the clown known as Gary Gensler, Daddy G.
Daddy G.
So Paul Grohl, who is he is the chief legal officer over Coinbase. Let me throw this up here. Let me share my screen over here, people. I hear Julius going crazy, dude.
It's going nuts in the background.
So here it is. So Paul,
you just never hear him.
Paul Grohl put this out. He said, let me read it first. It said, today's commission tells entrepreneurs trying to do new things in our markets to come in and register. And when entrepreneurs find they cannot, then the commission dismisses the possibility of making practical adjustments to our registration framework to help entrepreneurs register. And then instead of rewards their good faith with an enforcement action, better known as a Wells, what is that called? A Wells action, whatever.
Was notice.
Wells notice. And then today's commission treats the notice and comment rulemaking process as a conversation, but as a threat. And this is something Hester Peirce put together, and it's probably her most biting. She's got beyond frustrated. Everyone gives her a lot of heat. She's just a commissioner, right? She votes. She's one of the 5. But someone out there is taking, a good look at this. Paul Grewal said in just 60-something words, SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce has managed to articulate all that hits awfully close to home. Thank you. And so we got this from Warren Davidson commenting on Paul's tweet saying, yep, to correct a long series of abuses, I'm introducing legislation that removes the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission and replaces the role with an executive director that reports to the board where the authority resides. Former chairs of the SEC are ineligible. How about that, Jeff?
I like it. I like this. I like this a lot, actually. You take this unelected bureaucrat and now you hold him to task because here's the, so obviously major issues with the way it has been, and we've seen it firsthand. But you leave this unelected bureaucrat completely unchecked, and then everyone refers to the commissioners. They refer to the chair as the boss of the commissioners. And he's not really their boss per se. Yeah. He's the chair of the SEC. But so I like this. I like him being an executive director, reporting back to the board, and that's where and I like the authority being in the board. Because right now, 100% of the authority is with Chair Gensler. And then the commissioners have almost no, it doesn't really matter what they do.
Right. It's basically a dictatorship is what you're saying, right? So it's like when he puts something up for vote, they can have this vote. But regardless if that happens or not, and, it was so funny because I remember Tony Edwards on Thinking Crypto had said to Hester Peirce, something about, is Gensler your boss? She says, no, not at all. But I bet you he walks around like he is. I bet you he walks around like he's everyone's boss. Like he's some big authority that I do these office hours and I'm somebody special. I'm pretty sure he thinks he's someone special, even though most of and his love is, it's not even just the crypto world. It's a lot of different verticals that are not happy with Gary Gensler, right? It's not just the crypto world. There's a lot of long knives out. Let's just put it that way. And on the heels of that, Warren Davidson put this out saying, let's make the Fire Gary movement bipartisan.
And so Dennis, that's huge.
Dennis Porter put this tweet out, pro crypto and pro Bitcoin. Democrats are lining up to voice their opposition to their own party's stance. Democrats are on the verge of driving their own voters away and losing support from this important new voter bloc. In my opinion, it could cost Democrats the 2024 election. And Jeff, who's the biggest, I would say, proponent of killing crypto out there? Who happens to be a senator? Who happens to... It
seems like anybody with a D.
Well, that too, but the one that said she's going to kill crypto.
Not all of them, but you've got Elizabeth Warren. She's right there on the front lines trying to devastate it. Are any of the others left? You don't even have no idea if they're still out there, but I'm sure they're there. There's so much devastation. Think about all the damage that Maxine Waters has caused by not allowing legislation to have full discussion in front of the Financial Services Committee. And so it just fell flat for how many years? After year after year after year.
I hate to say it, Jeff, but so far I'm not seeing a lot of stuff happening out of that committee right now. So let's
I was looking up French Hill to see if there's anything new and exciting. I didn't really see anything. Might have to dig in.
Yeah, we have to see, Jeff.
Looks like Warren Davidson is promoting some new stuff. There were some bills that had been promoted. I'll have to go back and check and see if there's been any significant movement. But not as far as I'm aware, nothing's been pushed out of Congress. It hasn't gone to the Senate yet.
Well, we have to see, but that's the other thing. The Senate could be the block anyway, but then you could have the veto and all this stuff. But look at here, it's bluedex.eth, right? So definitely an ETH maxi, or at least a fan of ETH. It says, I've never once voted for a Republican president. I can almost guarantee I will vote Republican in the next presidential election, and likely everyone after that based on what's happened during this administration. Then we have this one from Brandon Ramirez. who was commenting on this, Chris Bernesky, said crypto is going to be an issue for voters in 2024, and already that is a sign of us winning. But I have also never seen the U.S. government be so draconian. Brandon commented on it, saying this: "I will be a single issue voter in the next coming U.S. election cycles." This is interesting, Jeff.
This is really interesting. This is major. When you hit people in their pocketbooks, they vote. When you attack people's health and you lie about it, they hide. And we saw people hide on mass scale. But when you hit them in the pocketbook and they suffer the way people are suffering right now, there's even more overreach coming from the EPA. So if you drive an SUV, guess what? They're coming for your SUVs, and it's going to be even more draconian when they tell you can only drive, a 2-cylinder engine and Flintstone it, back and forth to work. That's what they would like to see. They want to keep devastating the marketplace. But from this perspective, man, this is really interesting to see. Do we have any way that, I know those are all images, be interesting to go back and see, who these
But go ahead and read that, Jeff.
are. This one is big, from David Hoffman. My entire family is Democrat. And you hear this a lot, too, because people are kind of born into this Democrat environment. They think they were Democrats their whole lives. And then all of a sudden they realize and they wake up. They're like, oh, my God, I've actually never been a Democrat. I've actually been independent conservative, my entire existence. And, you hear that a lot. And even their families that were Democrat were actually conservative, and so we can get into a whole conversation on that. But he was once a Bernie bro because of Hillary, really. Because Hillary. Because of Hillary. And it's interesting, too, because think about the shock of all those that came out to support Bernie Sanders, and he should have beat Hillary. Remember? And he didn't. And they put Hillary up there instead, and they burned him. And he just said, okay, I'm not, he stepped back. And all of his supporters, the groundswell of support that they had, it was pretty mind-numbing.
Pretty much.
And so they try to twist it back into this guy that's in there now, but didn't have the same charisma. I don't know what kind of charisma Bernie had. I still don't get that part of it, but so David's saying, I too would vote Republican for the first time, given it was the correct pro-crypto candidate, and Dems continued on the anti-crypto warpath. This is a major issue. And I'll tell you what, they're not necessarily, Chip, I don't think they're one-issue voters, because what they're saying is they care, they're passionate about crypto, but it also has to do with fiscal responsibility, being able to build wealth, being able to support their families, being able to, live the way they want to live and live an American dream in this country. They want to leave the next generation better off than they were. To me, if you're voting for crypto, there's so much more that goes into that thought process. And these guys that are saying this are going to find that they're actually relatively conservative.
That's what it looks. It's amazing to me. I mean, but funny thing about it is, like, hey, man, you want to go build that anti-crypto army? You keep building that, because we've been building here since 2008. And I like our chances a lot. And hey, the people in Massachusetts don't wake up. I mean, quite honestly, Jeff, the stuff they're going after Clarence Thomas for, right? One of the greatest brilliant minds, maybe next to like a Scalia in the last 30 to 50 years, sitting on the U.S. Supreme Court, going after him about this crazy, ridiculous stuff. But they had no problem with somebody pretending or misappropriating a race that wasn't their own for personal gain. And when that was discovered and basically exposed, Senator Warren as a fraud, everybody was cool with it. It's like, well, that's not a big deal. But they make such a big deal any other time, Jeff.
That's right.
If someone else does it. So that was kind of a weird thing, too. That was a whole oddity. But.
Yeah. Hey, check out this comment right here. Pep Win said, true, voted Republican a few times before, but I will this coming election. Warren convinced me the Dems are against crypto. And there's going to be, man, I see a lot of this. Sophie, at least RFK Jr. talks about crypto. Need him as a competitor to wake up the GOP. And these are good commentaries here. Odagy Z said, I met 2 different customers this week at my store. that have XRP and the other wanting to buy some depending on the lawsuit. I think XRP has more eyes on it than what people think. It's going to be huge. And it is interesting. Here's another one from Scott. Scotty, Democrats don't care who votes. They just care who count the votes. Think about that.
What are you saying, Scott? What kind of a thing are you alleging there? Are you alleging something that we're not aware of? There's Julius again. Julius is going crazy.
And he's way out there. He's not even near here. Here's another one from Jim D. The best thing that can happen for XRP Ripple besides a solid SEC suit win would be for the new BIS Unicoin, the Bank of International Settlement Unicoin rollout, to crash and burn in a glorious display of centralized incompetence.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. Can we frame that? That's so well said, Jim D. So eloquent with words. BIS Unicorn rollout to crash and burn, a glorious display of centralized incompetence. That is masterful. What a way with words, man. I really appreciate it, Jim D. Look at this. K-HUD. K-HUD says, Gary, I'm too sexy for government, too sexy for SEC. Hang on a second.
Sorry.
Too sexy for laws. That's right. I'm too sexy for, remember that song? Right Said Fred. By the way, Right Said Fred, if you guys follow their Twitter feed, it's phenomenal, man. Those guys are, you want to talk about on top of it, man. They are all over it. And I would say they line up in the geopolitical spectrum as well, but they are just fantastic the way they use that Twitter feed. Thank you for that, K-HUD. What else we got, Jeff?
Man, there's all sorts of stuff going on here. Let's see. Here's from iReal Media. My great grandmother was an orphan, also Mi'kmaq indigenous from Nova Scotia. Even I'm insulted by the Pocahontas. There
you go, man. And again, and I gotta say, it was the Cherokees. They took it like, hey, they did the right thing. They're like, it's great that you're apologizing. We appreciate that. But quite honestly, for all the other stuff that goes on where you're honoring, with sports teams that are honoring, especially what we had with what happened up in Cleveland Indians. Cleveland Indians was a reason they were named the Cleveland Indians, because there was a famous Native American that played for them, and it was an honorary thing saying, that they would be called the Cleveland Indians, and they thought it was, mocking it. And meanwhile, the Native Americans didn't have any issue with it. So it's like the people that have the issue with it are the same people crying and belly aching about everything else, which is kind of a joke here.
They always step up and think they have to protect other people.
I live in algorithm.
Just mind their business.
I live in algorithm. I like that. What that means, the algorithm. There's another good comment here I wanted to say.
Yeah, there were a couple good ones here. Yeah.
It's so hard. There's so many of them.
What rhymes with Janet Yellen?
Janet Felon. Janet Felon. Planet Felon. There you go. I knew Felon was gonna be part of it, but that's good. There you go. It's all
right,
good.
So Chip, and this one, man, I don't know if I like where this is posted. Let me put this someplace else. The article idea, the concept is good to talk about. The site, opening this up in a regular browser isn't working for me.
Is it IMF, Jeff, that one, or no? Different story?
Yeah, so I'm gonna put it over here and block all the nonsense. It's on something called the Sociable. I don't know what this is. I've got it here, but this is the Sociable. Rakshith Rao. I think this is his podcast. But anyhow, so over here, so this was posted a couple days ago. IMF is creating a CBDC handbook for central bank government rollouts. Chip, I see all sorts of issues with this. The IMF, the International Monetary Fund, here it is, trying to create strategies for these central bank digital currencies. Obviously, they want to have some semblance of control over the outcome of this. They're relatively not relevant when it comes to the central bank or the CBDCs. Obviously, they hold some sort of relevancy. But what do you think about this? Do you think that the IMF should be putting together some sort of strategic implementation for the rollout of CBDCs and the end of financial freedom and anonymity And that's
Jeff,
what this title is here. I like that title.
I'm going to defer to Jim D's his comment. Just bring that up anytime the IMF or the BIS comes up, because they're all a bunch of garbage. First of all, they're unelected bureaucrats. They think they're power wielding something, and this is where they've got zero power. They're just a bunch of nobodies, just a bunch of nobodies that are misguided. That's the one right there. And let's switch it up, okay? The IMF. The IMF CBDC rollout to crash and burn in a glorious display of centralized incompetence. There you go, Jeff. We have a we have a new member. Jeff, can you throw that up on the screen?
We do. Look at this. Oh man, here you go. Pepwin
7,
a new member.
You know what that's gonna? You know what that calls for, Jeff?
I know what that calls for.
That calls for a little bit of music here. Where is our?
While you're looking for that, we got to get some graphical wows going on.
That's
so
a good one.
No one falls into an epileptic shock. There you go. Up. Find it. That's not it.
That's not it. But I like it. but I like it. For some reason, I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Right here. You ready, Jeff? Let's do the guitar. You ready? The guitar?
Get the guitar.
Air guitar. This is for Pepwin 7. Now let's do it.
Ready? All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That gets a...
Yay.
Yay. Yay, baby.
Boom. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, one drunk guy. I appreciate it. One drunk. You know? Yeah. Right on, you know? Yay. Yay, Jeff. Right. Yay. Let's do this. All right. I think I appreciate that. Love that. We need a new member.
A new member. Gotta love the new member. So here you go, Chip. Odygy Z. What do you guys think of XDC? XRP is my baby, but XDC is a good runner-up. Thoughts, comments on the XDC?
Full disclosure, I own XDC. I think XDC has a lot of utility. I like how they start out with trade finance, but I like where they're diversifying. And we probably should talk a lot more about XDC because it really is a good project. I don't know why we don't, but again, I personally think it's got a lot of great potential. And honestly, it could go in some incredible places. To me, it's way undervalued. If you look at that from a standpoint of like where it's sitting right now, I think it's sitting around 4 cents, give or take. Mm-hmm. Funny thing is, it's very undervalued. When I see other tokens out there that don't have utility, that don't have great people behind the project, like that's got a stellar team of people behind there. I love how they're fueling the environment out there as far as the ecosystem. How they've got they're pouring as much support into it as they can. So I think it's potentially has some good things. And again, it's not financial advice, it's just one guy's opinion. But I happen to like the project, and I happen to think that I've actually liked the direction that they've been in the last 6 months to a year. And I think they have a lot of promise. And at 4 cents, who knows, man? I mean, you get into 4 cents and it goes to $1. It's pretty nice, man. You're 20x plus I just think it's a great opportunity. And it's, for some reason, I don't know why it's undervalued. Look at this right here.
Yeah, I think very good.
Alex G, let's see how long the new subs last, because YouTube takes the subs away. They don't let the channel grow, just like Siege's channel. Yeah, and I put that up, Alex, about Siege's channel, and it's like I can understand the frustration because Siege is out there putting in the work, doing a good job, and he has, there's an audience there, and it's just so sad because somebody like that should be somewhere around 30 or 40,000. It's not there. Let me I'm going to pull it up on my Twitter feed, but I wanted to show you what his original tweet was, because I had to tell you, man, it's just like it's completely ponderous to me. I don't understand it for 1 second. I don't know what's going on there, but I wanted to put him at ease, like, hey, it's not just you. Don't think like you're like, the only one, because he was actually reaching out to YouTube saying, hey, is there something here? Is there something going on? What's the deal? How do we do this? I'm like, it's not just you, man. So let me see if I can find it, Jeff. I'm gonna go and look into this thing.
Man, it's there's a lot of stuff going
on. There it is. No, that's not it. Dang.
Along with that, I'm looking through everybody's commentary here.
That's great comments tonight.
Alan, bag number 1 XRP, bag number 2 XLM, bag number 3 is the XDC. I don't see many people talking about the SHIB. Man, the SHIB.
Shit.
doesn't
Okay,
get
so here it
enough
goes, guys.
love.
And guys, go give Crypto Siege some love, man. Seriously. This is Crypto Siege. It's CEEJ, Crypto CEEJ. Go give him a follow on YouTube. But here he is right here. And he put this comment up here because he's showing his stats, right? He's showing his stats and live stream, the videos, the shorts. And he's saying, hey, Team YouTube, tagged a couple other people in there, for over a year now, struggled with Y subscribers, kept hitting 7,600 or so, then immediately go down to 7,500 or so. Feels like this started when you guys made the change to real time. And he goes on to say, but something is not right here. Please help. And I said, well, hey, Siege, we have the same issue with On the Chain. Our channel's been stuck at 26,000 subs and then drifting back to 25K. Something's up for sure. New people
Really
consistently in our live chats, yet no subscriber growth for months. Kind of weird. Just kind of weird, man. Kind of weird.
It is kind of weird. And then you'd have to make an assumption. You know what I'd like to see? See that, and Jungle said YouTube punishes variety content.
He was the one that told us that, which is why we had two channels, which is why our other channel we were taking and airing like the uploaded videos, and this one we were doing, but then we abandoned that because we didn't see a lot of growth. But Siege said, hey, that's really crazy. I hope YouTube will have some answers. And then Jungle said Roberta Blake is another channel to set up.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that back. They punish it. Yeah, say that. I bet the live stream content has a negative effect. It doesn't make sense though, because there are a lot of channels out there that grow on the live streams. Look at Tim Pool. They do long live streams, and maybe the idea, maybe the live streams have to be longer. Maybe they have to be longer than an hour. Just like a video. If you do a video under 8 minutes, you get penalized. So if it's like a 5 or 6 minute video, it doesn't get the same love. The magic sauce for the videos is 10 to 15 minutes.
Unless you're Mark Dice, then you get, but you have like 2 million subscribers.
Right.
But here he says, that Crypto Seed says that's interesting. I just started going back to live streams, hoping it would help. It feels like there's something to the switch they made with the real time subs. Interesting.
And they put this out. They build so much case around the live stream, and the live stream is more fun. There's so much engagement. You get to interact with people. It's a lot of fun. I think everybody loves it. And people kind of come in and out during the show, but we get a decent number of people that are here. I think people really enjoy it.
Not only that, but more people actually watch on the rewatch than actually watch the live stream. So it's like it's not like we said, 70% of the watches come from watching it live. And that's not true. It's actually more than 50% comes from the rewatch, and the rewatch is really where the audience is. And a lot of times it just has to do with people's schedules. They can't make the live stream, but they like the content. The reason we chose to do live stream is because imagine if Jeff and I were doing this, right? And we were putting up videos. You would either get videos. We tried this in the early days that you'd get a Jeff video or you get a Chip video. And then what? Like part of what makes this a lot of fun for us is the back and forth, right? Hey, Jeff, what do you think about this? And I think, cool. He's got that spot on. Or if we ever disagree, which is very rarely, but the whole idea is that we're engaging with you is what makes it the live broadcast. The fact that you guys are saying stuff in real time and reacting to what we say, we're reacting to what you say. And again, it's this circular motion of a lot of energy that we like. And again, so it seems like YouTube punishes for that, especially on Crypto Seeds there. So that sounds like a real bummer, Jeff, but what are you going to do? It's
and here's another one, like Garlic Brad is saying, like, subscribe, and comment for the algorithm. That's the other thing. It's the one thing that YouTube likes is engagement. So they want to see that even in the after watch, that there are a lot of comments, not just here in the live stream, but they want to send on YouTube. They want to see the comments on the after fact. That's how they're tracking engagement with the video. They have the watches and our people commenting on the video. So that's a big part of it also. Scott E is saying we should check out Rumble. There's hardly any crypto. We tried that too. It was kind of brutal going over to Rumble.
We have to, if they would just go ahead and make it easy, like just so you guys know, is that once we set it up in our software, our streaming software, we never touch it again. It automatically broadcasts it. With Rumble, you gotta it's a whole setup, and every time you gotta, it takes longer to set up
Rumble. It was a lot to set up Rumble because you have to go into the Rumble. And I like
Rumble. I watch a lot of content there.
It gives it a brand new key, and you have to grab that key. Then we have to edit our streaming software, and then we have to update the streaming software with the new key, and then it keeps the live stream open on Rumble. And so there's just the interaction. If we were only on Rumble, but it was causing, a little bit of angst trying to get all that set up. And we were really hoping they would fix their API and it would simplify, because Rumble, I think, could be great.
Yeah, and I think we have to make a
a
stronger push to get over to Rumble and have you guys watch us on Rumble, because I think that there's a lot of great stuff going on over there. And honestly, Rumble's a good platform. You know what? Let's do what we can. Like they need a good crypto show to sponsor over there that's crypto and geopolitical. So I mean, I think that would be a great thing. Jeff, look at. Go ahead and read. Go ahead and read that.
That's a good one from Sophie. We appreciate you guys giving us a place to discuss and learn, and we appreciate you guys being there to discuss and learn. It's awesome.
Yeah, let's have a little fun too.
And we did reach out to Rumble too and talk to them and tried to set everything up to go over there, and that'd be interesting. We have to.
I think we have to make a more concerted effort going forward to do that.
Yeah, but here's Oscar. I think gets it. YouTube probably just hates Florida. Use a VPN and make it look like you're in New York. Where I love New York, sure.
I like the way you're thinking, Oscar. You know what? Oscar's got a good plan here. I like this a lot. By the way, Jeff, the move to New York was fantastic, wasn't it? I mean, it turns out we love it here.
Love New York.
New York's great. I love New York.
New York is awesome.
It's fantastic. Might move to California next.
I think, yeah. Let's go to San Francisco.
Look at this. Look at this. Speaking of the SEC, Jeremy Hogan put this tweet out. He said, "Hey, when will the SEC v. Ripple case be over? Let's take a look into the future." And let me put this full screen here and make sure the volume is up. Here it is. Let's watch this.
I am happy to tell you, my loyal viewers, that at long last, the SEC versus Ripple case has settled. Now, excuse me, I have to catch a shuttle back to the moon in time for dinner. Boy, I'm glad I'm done doing these videos. I am happy to.
That's a funny thing.
2050 World Championships.
Yeah, there you go. 2050 Orlando City. There they finally in there. Jeez, I mean, Jeremy Hogan did not age well. I mean, geez, it's not that long from now, Jeff. I mean, he didn't age well, did he? I'm glad I'm doing these stupid videos. I mean, my goodness, man. I mean, how old is he now? I think he just turned 50 or 51. And what are we talking about? 2050. Great. What is that? Let's do the math. Yeah, I guess that's
right around
right.
the corner, man. It's like 25 years, 20.
I love the 2050 championships. So right around the corner. That was a good one. Thank you. Gotta love the humor. Bring in the humor, man.
All right, here you go from Donald Shoop. You think it's Shoop?
Shoop.
Not Shop.
A Shoop. That reminds me of a 90s song. Shoop. Who did that Shoop song? Is that
that was the one they did the waterfalls too.
Yeah, the waterfalls. Don't be chasing waterfalls.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. The girl band. What was that? Shoop. That was my gosh, Jeff. Why can't I pull it up? Let's see. I'm even looking for it. Oh my gosh.
All right. So while you're looking that up, the question is, when do you guys think this
TLC,
switch
Jeff,
will be
TLC.
flipped? TLC, that's right. TLC. When do you guys think they will flip the switch for XRP?
You go first. Go first, Jeff. Take that.
All right, I'll go first. So I think that we saw some holdback on the XRP, which is one of the main reasons that we see Deaton and close to 80,000 XRP retail holders joining originally for the intervention in the SEC v. Ripple. We saw some punitive damage to holders of XRP, mainly because of that lawsuit. And it wasn't so much that everyone said, oh my God, they're suing Ripple. It's that in the lawsuit, they then also declare all XRP as a security, both what Ripple sold and on the secondary market. The lawsuit really constrained the growth of the marketplace for XRP while all the other assets were booming. And XRP was booming at that point too, Chip, right? It was everything was growing. It hit 80 cents. It was going to hit the dollar mark. Everything was flourishing. It was probably going to reach all-time highs like Bitcoin and Ethereum did and a few of the others. Yet they filed a lawsuit. They dropped this bomb and the price of XRP slid backwards dramatically. And then just sat. And that was the catalyst for the lack of growth of XRP. It was the uncertainty. But then it wasn't just, hey, if everything else was normal, let's say Coinbase didn't freeze the XRP asset, which they did, that added another layer of uncertainty in the marketplace with people holding on to XRP. So when will this switch? I don't think there's a magic elixir on the switch necessarily, other than once this case is over and Ripple is victorious and comes out and the declaration is that XRP is not a security, that's going to be the beginning of the catalyst. Because then all of these projects that have been building or thinking of building, that want to launch and want to utilize did a token, it's going to be important for the entire market, the entire industry as a whole. But Chip, that's where I see that's going to be the primary catalyst, and that's going to take the shackles off of Ripple. We talked about the liquidity hub and the fact that they don't necessarily have to use XRP. Going back to your point, Chip, right in the beginning of your tweet, why aren't they using it now? Well, why would they want to put themselves in a bad predicament with the SEC? Why not just say, hey, we can use any asset. We're going to treat them all equally and figure out which one's best. So I think there's a lot going on right now, but this lawsuit is going to be a major component to it. What do you think?
And well, here's what I think. I think that a lot of times we misspeak things, and this is one of them. Oscar says that Shoop was salt and pepper, and it was salt and pepper. You're right. Shoop, papa, Shoop. And you know what? It's like, it was, yeah, so it was salt and pepper. Thank you for keeping us, you guys will always keep us honest over here.
This isn't
also,
a music
too,
show.
John Doe Crypto says, hey, has everybody unsubscribed? Waited 20 seconds and resubbed? Give it a shot to throw the algorithm a curveball. Guys, give that a shot. But don't let longer than 20 seconds. You know what happens? And you forget, and then
you forget, and then you're unsubscribed.
I always go like,
no
I just subscribed this thing. I don't plan on keeping it, and I'll remember to, I'm not going to pay the whole month. I just needed to do this one thing, and then you know what happens? You forget, and then you realize 3 months later you've been paying for something you didn't need. Note to self, I have something like that right now. That's what
Chip, just as a future reference, I'm going to put this comment up here that Norseman is going to ask us if this is pre-recorded.
It's absolutely pre-recorded. It's a good thing that Norseman attends every show, so we can put that up there.
We can grab that snippet and put it up there and say,
it'd be great, Jeff. We have an imaginary show. It's like an imaginary live show that we just throw up random goofy comments of nobody that anyone even recognizes in the the live stream.
We'll just make them all up.
Here's Poopy Brains. It's wants to know.
I'd like it. We should, yeah. And that's just
it'd be hard to pull off, but it sure would be fun though, wouldn't it?
It would be funny.
It would be a blast. It would be so much fun, dude. Oh my gosh. What a weekend.
Norseman is busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest.
That's pretty busy, man. You think about that. That's a rough job. You're a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. You got lots of issues.
Yeah, lots of issues.
Oh, with this one, Awesome Aid says, with Gary's parents wish Gary parents wore protection. Don't worry, there'll be another moron to take this place. There's no shortage of morons in the world. I like this sentiment, but let's face it, there's a lot of nut jobs. I just want to see how we go after him for being the bag man. We talked about that. It was the bag man on Hillary Clinton's campaign who paid for the Alpha Bank hoax and also paid for the dossier. And guess what? Both of them were proven. And it's like, Jeff, anything happened there? Nah, everything's cool. Even when your campaign person running your campaign named Robbie Mook fingers you as the culprit, and then we know who the treasurer was. We know who's doling out the cash payments. Geez, Jeff, there's laws around that. It's like if you're involved in a crime scene that looks like, I'm trying to choose my words carefully, but looks bad, right? It does not a good look. Well, funny how there's no repercussions. So that's what we got to do. I think we need to crank that up. I think we need to launch an investigation. We need to get something going at the House level as to what Gary Gensler was doing, making those payoffs for two things that turned out to be both debunked. And it looks a lot like treason to me. Last time I checked, it's treason, right? Trying to basically take down a sitting, president. But nothing, Jeff. Don't worry about that. There's a two-tiered justice system, for
maybe
for
even
the folks
3.
that do things. So that's kind of what happens at times, unfortunately.
I think I'm behind the 8 ball a little bit with all these comments. I'm trying to
Get
catch
this right
back
here.
up.
Jim D says, I think Bernie Sanders and Gary Gensler came from the Gary Sandler. Yeah, it's like Gary Sander and Bernie Gensler. Same thing, dude. They came from the same sermon donor bank. Both have autocratic hand wave genetics.
Genetics, that's funny.
That's a good one.
They did.
Man, I gotta say, Jeff, the star of tonight's show was the chat, no doubt. Just fantastic as usual.
Pep win. The FUD is high right now, but I think we're a year or two ahead of schedule. Everything set for 2025 seems to be happening now. There's a lot of stuff ramping up. Even the normalcy of this notion of the CBDCs. It was the IMF and Janet Yellen and what's that woman over there from the European Christine Lagarde.
Yeah.
You know, they're all, you know, they all spoke positively about crypto, and then they were negative about crypto, extremely negative on crypto, and now all of a sudden they're all big, huge fans of CBDCs. Got to do it.
We always got to consistently remind people has nothing to do with crypto. It's centralized garbage. Look at this from El Jefe. El Jefe says, yes, 4/18 is the official ass-kicking day for Gary. That's right. They're hauling him in front of the Financial Services Committee, and let's just bring some, let's bring some questions, like not the questions where Elizabeth Warren gives you ahead of time and like, are these okay for you? Do you want to answer these questions the way they're written? Oh, and by the way, just let you know, kind sir, that I'm saddling up an anti-crypto army. You know what's funny is like, Jeff, you could do that. And if you're that disconnected from the rest of the world, like they are, and like Elizabeth Warren is, you're that disconnected that you think that anti-crypto is the way to go and you're going to make it one of your 3 tenets of your campaign, okay, game on. If you want to go ahead and do that, all right. But you are making a misstep and you are severely disconnected. Now, will it make a difference in Massachusetts? I don't know. I don't know who holds crypto in Massachusetts, but let's face it, Massachusetts has done a lot of dumb things. They had Mitt Romney as a governor, number one, okay? And now we have him as a rhino, which stands for Republican in name only. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff going on, but please, if you have any decency, do not vote for this woman. She's a complete nutcase.
Which woman?
That would be Elizabeth Warren.
Crypto Whelp. Greetings, everyone. And Crypto Whelp is coming from Belgium. Belgium
This
has
is
good
true.
beer.
Sophie's right. Lagarde has become bitter. Yeah, I remember like a couple years ago, it's like, oh man, Brad Garlinghouse took a picture with Christine Lagarde. That was when she was at the IMF, remember?
She is, yeah.
And she was like, oh, it's pro-crypto.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, just so you know, the biggest threat to the power-hungry governments, I don't care what country you live in, your government, is decentralization. Why? Because you no longer need an intermediary. You don't need somebody. And if they think that printing money out of thin air is the problem, well, no, that's not the problem. It must be Bitcoin. It must be digital assets. I'm sure that's why they want to get rid of it. If they didn't think it was a threat, why would they go after it so hard? Like really hard, Jeff. Hard.
Oh, they're going at it. They're going after it super aggressively.
Hard.
I mean, it's crazy how aggressively they're going after it. So aggressively that they were propping up FTX to have a major crash to try to take him out. So, salt and pepper.
Well, MFG.
Right.
Look, you get them wrong sometimes, man. It's a live show. That's the best part about watching the live show. Is Jeff and I will step in it from time to time, but we'll have a chance to correct it.
APXRP said narratives don't matter once the pendulum is swinging, and I'm thinking it's topping out. It's getting really high on the wrong side of the pendulum, and it's being artificially held there. So yeah, once the first hand slips off the pendulum, it's coming back, and it's going to be brutal.
One more comment that we got to get out of here. But Jim D says, my biggest fear right now is a massive geopolitical external event preempts a Ripple SEC legal resolution due to national shutdowns. Come on, let's not give anybody ideas, Jim D. Let's just keep those thoughts to ourselves, okay? Let's not put that bad energy out there. But anyway, Jeff, I wanted to say, guys, thank you so much for coming in here today. Really appreciate that, and I'm also too, guys, excited about the XRP and what's happening around there, and we'll be getting to a settlement. We'll be hearing something from the judge soon. It won't be settlement, but we'll be hearing something about the way this case is going to shake out. And thank you, Jeff. Less than 48 hours before the Badass Yetis launches. Next show, it will have launched
they're
the
coming
next
quick.
previous day. So,
Badass Yetis. Badass Yetis. The Badass Yetis.
iceberg is massive. Just
You know
beneath
what,
the water
Chip?
kits.
I
have.
think our outro, since today was brought to you by Badass Yetis, our outro needs to be another plane of the Badass Yetis for all those who missed it earlier.
I like that, Jeff. Guys, let's listen to the Badass Yetis. Let's follow it up with a proper outro. But guys, here you go. Give you the Badass Yetis. Let's go.
Discover the awe-inspiring universe of the Badass Yetis, comprising 7 diverse clans, each possessing unparalleled abilities and strengths. The mighty Titans are a formidable and courageous clan known for their immense strength and valor. These colossal warriors are celebrated for their fearlessness and determination. The Pathfinders, cute, cuddly, but deadly. Expert hunters and trackers, they navigate mountains with ease. They'll find you if you hide. Trust me, it's best if they don't see you. The Templars are spiritual and wise, deeply understanding the spiritual forces that shape their world. They believe themselves to be the defenders of just and righteousness. The superior craftsmanship of the Frostbeards enables them to produce intricate tools and weapons using the limited resources available in their surroundings. The Shiverspine clan is the most terrifying of the 7 clans, known for their exceptional agility and stealth and ability to move silently and quickly through the snow and ice. With their telekinetic and intellectual prowess, mentalists excel as powerful foes and sought-after allies due to their ability to mentally manipulate the world around them. The Spirit Walkers attune themselves to the earth, animals, and the unseen spirit world. Their exceptional communication skills enable them to connect with the spirits of the land and draw upon their force.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.